This is the new Galaxy S25 FE. It is powered by the Exynos 2400 chip. Last year's S24 FE used a slightly slower version of this same chip called the Exynos 2400E. Now in this video, we'll test the performance of the Galaxy S25 FE with benchmarks and 6 games. So without any further ado, let's get started. In terms of benchmarks, this phone scores around 10% higher than last year's S24 FE, and these scores put this phone somewhere between the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and 8s Gen 4 in terms of overall performance. The sustained performance numbers in both scenarios are also promising thanks to a 10% larger vapor chamber cooling system. The maximum internal temperature does not cross 45 degrees Celsius in both cases, which is definitely a good thing as it means that the phone is not overheating. Now let's finally start the gaming test. I'm using Samsung's built-in GPU watch along with CNET app to monitor the frame rate. First is BGMI or PUBG. Unfortunately, right now this game is limited to 60 FPS even with smooth graphics, so we'll play with HDR graphics instead. As you can see, it is running perfectly well at 60 FPS. In this almost 30 minutes long session, the temperature never crossed 35 degrees Celsius. I'm pretty sure that we'll get 120 FPS support on this phone, as even the S24 FE eventually got it a few months back. Next is Call of Duty. Here we get 120 FPS support with medium graphics, which is great. The game definitely feels very smooth to play at 120 FPS, and even the temps are under control, so nothing to complain about. In the Battle Royale mode, the frame rate is limited to 90 FPS, but it still feels very smooth and responsive. The temperature and frame rate both are perfectly fine, so overall it was a very good experience. Next we have Asphalt Legends. Here we get 60 FPS as the maximum frame rate, and we have maxed out all the graphics. I was hoping for 90 FPS support given the kind of power packed in this phone, but even at 60 FPS, it plays well with no hiccups or stutters. Again, I have nothing to complain about with regards to the temperature and the average frame rate. I just hope we get 90 FPS support on this phone. Moving on to more demanding games, first we are testing Car X Street at the highest graphics. Here we see some occasional stutters, but for the most part we get around 60 FPS. This is the first game where the temperature crosses 40 degrees Celsius, but given how demanding this game is, it is quite normal. But yes, this game plays very well on this phone without any major issue. Next we have Genshin Impact, a very demanding game. The graphics are obviously set to the highest level, and I'm intentionally playing more action-packed section instead of plain exploration to put more stress on the phone. While the average frame rate is very close to 60 FPS, it does fluctuate quite a bit between 45 to 60 FPS. The gameplay still feels very smooth, so it's definitely playable, but there is certainly some room for improvement. The temperature, as expected, is over 40 degrees Celsius, but still very much under control. Last and the most demanding game of this lot is Wuthering Waves. We have maxed out the graphics here as well. Even here, while the average frame rate is above 50 FPS, there is a lot of fluctuation in the frame rate, much more than what we saw in Genshin Impact. In fact, we can see that the frame rate even dipped below 30 FPS several times. This happens more during intense action and not during simple exploration, but you still might want to lower the graphics a little bit to get more stable frame rate. Here the temperature almost touched 45 degrees Celsius. Beyond 45 degrees, the phone becomes a bit uncomfortable to hold, so this is definitely within limits. Anyways, overall the gaming performance of the S25 FE is certainly better than the S24 FE, but for its current price, you can get way more powerful phones. So the best time to buy this phone will be during the festive sale season of 2026, when the price will most certainly be cut in half. Alright, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it and found it useful. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel down below. Thanks for watching.